Do you think you're smarter than me, Wheaton? Do you think there's any argument you can make that I won't have an answer for?
I never said I was smarter.
That's the first intelligent thing you said. I want to make this clear. In that classroom, there is a God, and yet I'm him.
I am on Venice Beach, the beautiful Venice Beach, with an actor known for his strength and power. You might have recognized him from the show Hercules, Soul Surfer, but today I am with Kevin Sorbo. Kevin, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. This is my old stomping grounds.
Is it?
When I first moved here from LA, I didn't know a soul. All I knew is I wanted to live in Santa Monica. So I was right on the Santa Monica-Venice border. I'm probably less than a mile down the road that way, just north of here.
And so that had to be amazing.
It was great, and Gold's Gym was right here. That's where I worked out.
So you can work out?
And this bike path here, after I worked out, I'd do rollerblade or bike all the way down to Hermosa, Redondo, Manhattan, and back up again every day.
Wow.
It was worked out the frustrations of not getting work.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
So Kevin, so many of your fans and viewers out there know you for Hercules,
Sure.
but you were cast in and just, you know, this hit film, God's Not Dead.
Mm-hmm.
What attracted you to the film?
Well, PureFlix is the name of the company. They're based out of Scottsdale, Arizona. They're the largest distributor of faith-based and family-friendly movies in the country. And I've done 4 movies with them prior. And they sent this to me saying it's going to be a little controversial. It's going to create some, interesting conversations and debates. I read the script. I'm the type of guy normally, if I read a script, I'll have notes. I had no notes on this. I love the part. I called them up right away and said, I'm in. Because it's different. I'm a Christian. I played an atheist college professor in this movie, so it was an interesting character for me to play.
For you to play an atheist, did that conflict with your own beliefs?
Not really. I'm an actor. I can
That's
pretend
right.
to be one. And I've got atheist friends. We've had debates, healthy debates, not angry. And I'm open to listen to what they have to say. They've been open to listen to what I have to say. I don't expect them to, change their minds. I hope they do. But, it's interesting. And I've seen these guys on these cable shows that they actually spend the time, money, and energy to form these atheist groups that have so much hate in them and so much anger in them, screaming on the CNN, Fox, whatever it may be. And so I kind of portrayed the character after that. And I talked to a couple of my friends who had professors in college that belittled them, berated them for being Christians, which I thought, that's not really their job at universities. Their job is to teach whatever that subject is. If it's Atheist 101, then okay, I get it. But it wasn't. These were classes like math or biology or philosophy or English or whatever.
And the premise of the film, for those of you who have not seen God's Not Dead, you have to go check it out. If you can just expand on that.
It's really, if people remember the movie Crash, it's got 5 or 6 different stories. This is like a faith-based Crash where they have 5 or 6 different stories going on and they all come together at the very end. My story is the anchor story, and I play an atheist college professor of philosophy, an introductory class to freshmen. And I tell them all, look, we're not going to cover the subject because, let's face it, the big man in the sky never existed, and you're all going to get worse grades because of it if you do. So one kid stands up and says, look, I'm a Christian, and I can't ask, I can't be in this class if you're going to be like this. And he wants to challenge me into to a debate about the existence of a God. Of course, I want to take him on because I want to make him look like a fool in front of his students because my character's got a bit of an ego.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yes.
And with that being said, it's interesting because I heard you say that you are a Christian,
yeah.
and you've been known to have very bold views. Has that affected you getting booked for more work, or are people afraid of you when they see you? Do they run?
Well, it's interesting. Hollywood, the city's been good to me. The industry's been good to me. I've worked very hard. I'm a 13-year overnight success, but it's interesting to be on movie sets to hear all the bashing that goes on. And I don't know why people are so afraid of Christians. And I don't know why in an industry that screams for tolerance and screams for freedom of speech, they have neither of those. They only want it to be on one side, which is amazing to me. I'm all open to people's point of views. I'm a very live and let live kind of guy. So.
Which I think it's important. Like you said, being a person, if you have faith, just be.
Yeah.
Just be that person and let it speak through you.
Like I said, I don't force my beliefs on anybody. And I get crazy when these atheist groups can get on TV and get nativity scenes pulling down because they say it offends them. Why does it offend them? They don't believe in it. How does something you don't believe in offend you? I don't believe in broccoli, but if you want to have broccoli, go for it. I'm not going to attack you for having broccoli.
I love that. I love that. Transitioning from believing in and not believing in broccoli. Now, was there a time that your faith was really tested? Because I know there was a time where you became really sick, and this is when you were working on Hercules.
Yeah.
And how was that for you? What exactly happened?
Well, it was the end of season 5 on Hercules. In the last 3 months leading up to the end, I shot in New Zealand for 7 years. I lived down there. I was having problems with my left shoulder. I couldn't figure out what was going on with my shoulder. I had a lot of pain. I was getting a lot of cold and numbness in my fingers. Came back to the States. I was doing promotional work on a movie I did called Cull the Conqueror, which is a prequel to Conan the Barbarian. So I was doing Letterman, I was doing all these talk shows, but it kept getting worse and worse. I came back here to LA, went and saw my doctor. He found a lump in my shoulder. He said, we got a biopsy and see what's going on. Well, before they had a chance to do that, it ended up opening up completely, and it was an aneurysm, and it had been spitting blood clots into my arm. Well, when it opened up, it sent hundreds of clots, but unfortunately 3 of the clots went in my brain. I suffered 3 strokes. And I'm lucky, number one, that it didn't kill me, but what I'm fortunate is it went to 2 went to my balance center, 1 went to my vision. I still have a 10% loss in both eyes. But it took me 4 months of rehab to learn to walk again. And here's a guy that was,
Hercules,
I'm in my 30s.
known for
I'm in
his
better
strength.
shape than most guys in their 20s that are athletes. And all of a sudden I become a guy that couldn't even walk and stand up. So it took me almost three full years to feel 100% again. But it was a long road. And my wife sort of beat me over the head and said, you got to write this book to talk about what happened to you, because people have no idea, because they kept it very quiet. Universal Studios kept it quiet. The show had just passed Baywatch as the most watched TV show in the world, and we had 2 more seasons left in my contract. So I'm glad they kept the show going, because it gave me hope.
Yes, absolutely.
It gave me a light at the end of a very long and dark tunnel. And I wrote the book. It came out about 3 years ago. It's called True Strength. You can get it on Amazon. It's the story, really, it's a motivational story about finding your own true strength within yourself. It's sort of a play on words, because Hercules, obviously, I had stunt guys making me look good.
Yeah.
But here, we're all going to hit that brick wall one day. And what are you going to do? How are you going to react to that? And so it really teaches you, and hopefully lets people know that not to let doctors, family, friends, or anybody set limitations on them when they have an illness that is life-threatening. And it's up to you to push past that and fight to get better again. Because it took me a long time, but I forced myself.
Because it really is a choice.
It is a choice, yeah.
Despite anything that you're going through, as hard as it may be. And it's so great that you're speaking about this, because I feel like some of our viewers, some of them who are going through hard times, to see someone like Hercules, strong, not be able to walk.
It was brutal. It was tough.
And then to find that strength and have the support of your wife and your faith, which I'm sure was tested.
Oh yeah, no question.
To come back and say, no, I can do this. You write this book, and then you also go around speaking.
I do.
And you also have your own, not charity, is it nonprofit?
It's a nonprofit.
Nonprofit organization. Please tell us about it.
It's called The World Fit for Kids, and I've been doing it for 17 years now. It's the #1 after-school program in the state of California. And it deals on 3 levels. It deals with physical education, it deals with education, it deals with real life. So each hour is designated to help in all those areas, whatever questions they may have for going on from 8th grade to 9th grade, or what questions they have about life, whether it's how to balance a checkbook, to sexual education, to whatever it may be, whatever questions they have, we want to be upfront and honest about what it's doing. But we also work with them with physical education, because they're dropping that out of every class. Kids need to run around.
There's no more gym.
No, there's no more
Remember gym.
You walk by parks today, the kids aren't in parks at all anymore. They're at Kitty Cocaine playing Nintendo or whatever, and it's fine to have those games. I think it's great. But with my kids, they have to work out an hour every day before they can play any games at all on the videos. And I wish every parent would do that. Make them go outside. Make them do something.
Yes,
it's
be
important.
active.
We're the most obese country in the world. Please make it stop.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
KevinSorbo.net.
.net, yes.
Check him out, and we will be right back.